I'm at docker.com. I'm going to select the download option, and we're going to be using the Windows AMD 64-bit version. Go ahead and click on that. It's going to download onto my computer. The size of the file is 524 megs, and we'll go ahead and open it up. Just going to minimize my browser. And if you get a prompt, you just say yes. The first question is to add a shortcut to the desktop. I'll just leave that checked. Click on OK, and it's going to unpack and install the files. Okay, on my computer, that actually took a few minutes. Installation is succeeded. We'll click on close, and then I'm going to go ahead and launch Docker by double clicking on it. And we'll get the service agreement that comes up over here. You can view the full terms right over here, and then accept. And I'm going to be using the recommended settings. If you have some very specific requirements, you can click on use advanced settings and configure it as you want. We'll go ahead and click on finish. At the prompt, you want to say yes. And now you can go ahead and create an account. You can either put in an email address, use your Google account, GitHub account, or just create a whole new account. I'm just going to go ahead and just use my Google account. Okay, so I'm signed in right now. We'll go ahead and open back up Docker. And you can complete the survey if you want, or you can skip it. And here we are at the dashboard. So the WSL was already installed for us, which is the subsystem for Linux. Just going to close this window. And here we are at the main page. We have no containers in right now and no images in right now. So this is a fresh installation. What we'll do next is we're going to go ahead and install the Pi app. So we're at the mindpi.com website. This is the official website. I want to go over here to the Pi blockchain and then select Pi node. And we have two options over here. We have a Mac version and a Windows version. We're going to go ahead and click on the Windows version. It's going to download. The file's pretty small. This one is 139 megs. We'll let it download. Okay, so the download is now complete. I'm going to go ahead and click on that to open it up. I'm going to minimize my browser, and the installation for the Pi node is beginning. All right, so it looks like there's an update. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Restart Now option. It should shut down everything, and it's going to install the update and then reboot the application. All right, so we're at the login screen right now, and what we want to do is select the login option, and it's going to give us a code. So what we want to do is sign in through our mobile app, and we're going to enter in this code. All right, so I have my app open now. I'm going to just select the mine option because I haven't done that yet. So we're going to sign in to the Node app. What we have to do is go over to the menu up here at the top and select the Node option. And now we have the sign in code. So the sign in code is what I'm going to go ahead and type in. Okay, and then I'll say continue. And it looks like the code has been submitted. We'll wait for the desktop to sync up. There we go. The desktop is now in. We're looking good. Thank you for joining my network. If you're part of the 166 users, we're going to click on the Pi node option over here. And it says your computer is not running the blockchain. So it's going to download a copy of the blockchain when we turn this on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And if we jump over into Docker and we go over into containers, you'll see that it is going to start creating a new stack over here. So this Pi network container, I didn't add this. This was automatically added by the application. So it created its own container right now. It is currently running. One thing to keep an eye on is how much RAM it takes and CPU power. Depending on your computer and how much you have available, this will get resource intensive. Also, when it downloads a copy of the blockchain, it's going to take up disk space. So you want to keep an eye on that. You can use your computer as normal while allowing Docker to run in the background. But depending on the resources that you have available, you might find it a little bit sluggish and slow. So my computer is now syncing with the blockchain. It's at block number 1. Again, this might take hours. Okay, so we're at the main screen right now, and we're going to check this option right over here that's called Visit Tech Setup. So it's going to check a few details. It want to make sure that your node is operating properly. The first thing is to make sure that Docker is installed. So Docker is installed correctly and the Docker daemon is running. We just checked that. And now we want to make sure that we have open ports on our router. So we want to make sure that these ports are opened on our router. So you can see that we're not able to check the ports right now because we're downloading a copy of the blockchain. We're running a copy of the blockchain. So we're going to go back over. Since it's downloading a copy, it says the ETA is 240 seconds. I'm going to let that continue before I continue on. Okay, so our node is now synced with the blockchain. That actually didn't take too long. For me, it took about 20 minutes to get that up and running. It really depends on your connectivity and the bandwidth that you have, but we're looking good so far. I'm going to go over here into the tech setup section. And what we have over here is it just verifies if you've done everything correctly. We just checked our Docker and it's installed correctly. The daemon is running. That looks great. And then we want to make sure that we have these ports open. And to check now, this is disabled. And that's because we are running the blockchain. So we have to pause it before we do this port check. So let's go back over into the Pi node. Let's switch it off. We're going to go back over here. Okay, and then we'll click on check now. So right now it is downloading the port listener and it's now pinging your PC. So you can see that I failed the port check. Nothing is open right now. And that is because I'm behind a router. So I have to make sure that my router allows access to these ports, and that will vary depending on the brand and the model that you have. Port forwarding will be required and the steps involved will vary. I made this video, and this is a very general video, but it gives you the idea of how to forward ports. What I'm going to be including is a link to my blog, which will show you steps for each individual router or modem that's available. I'll continuously update this. I know it is very exhausting and tiring for a lot of people to try to figure this out. So I'll do my best to help out. Again, I am not Pi support or part of the Pi team. I have no relationship with them at all. I'm just an enthusiast of crypto, and I like to get people up and running. If you do find this video helpful, please smash the like button and subscribe because I'm really trying to get this channel to grow. Thank you. So I have all my ports now opened on my router, and I'm back over here into the Node app. So I've turned the switch off. That means it's no longer running. If you go over here, you can see that my Docker is no longer running. And I go back over here into the setup page. We have the Visit Tech Setup section. I'm going to go back over here. It recognizes that Docker is installed properly and the daemon is running. It is going to check all these ports to make sure that they're open. Go ahead and click on the button here. And you can see that the status is now open for all the ports. So once again, you have to make sure that you have port forwarding set up on your router to make sure this section's working. Again, I'll make sure I link that in the description below, a guide on how you generally set that up. We can go ahead and click on back and we can turn our node back on. Okay, and it says that your computer is running the blockchain. And it has a block count right over here. This number will continuously go up. And you can see that it is catching up right now. I had this node off for a while. So what it needs to do is it needs to catch up on the blockchain and download all the missing parts. It says it's 14% done. I'll just give it a moment for it to catch up. So it's all caught up. You can see that the local block number and the last block number is the exact same. That means we are fully synced. And we have it on. It also says that your computer is running the blockchain. And that's pretty much it. So we have the node up and running. Those are all the steps that are required. It says that you're a node candidate. We have not selected super nodes or nodes that can participate in the Pi testnet, which requires KYC passing. You want to make sure that you have done the KYC for the Pi network, and they'll make the selection soon. One other thing I should note is that we want to leave this up and running. So if you hit the X in the corner and you close your Docker, you're not actually closing the application. If you go down here in the corner, you can see that you have it still running. The Pi network is still running over here and the Docker service is running over here. So they are still running in the background. You can use your PC however you choose to. Again, depending on the resources like RAM, hard disk space, and CPU, you should still be able to use your computer as normal. If it does slow down, it's because Docker is running and it does take a little bit of resources. For more Pi Network videos and other crypto related videos, you can check out my dedicated channel called Crypto Jar for a lot more content on this specific project and many others. If you found this video useful, please smash the like button, subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.